Network Centre. Come on in. G'day, we're dealers of Bernina and Janome sewing machine, overlockers and embroidery machines. And I'd like to show you the gorgeous Q20, Bernina Q20 machine, which is their really lovely 20-inch sit-down free motion machine. We have it set up in the koala table, all ready for you to go with the grippers and everything, ready for you to try out. Come on through here. We've got the beautiful Bernette and Bernina sewing machines all set up, ready for you to have a little play with. We've got lots of Bioni samples all made up to have a look at before you choose what pattern you'd like to buy. We're big fans of Bioni products and patterns. We do lots of classes. We have all the supplies. We have zippers, we have mesh, we have the fold over elastic, we have the poly strapping, everything you need, the hardware, everything you need to make a Bioni pattern. Fantastic. We've got a range of machine embroidery threads, the Polyfast by Wonderful. We have Metla thread, we have the Cosmo hand embroidery thread, and we've just got in the beautiful spaghetti and fruity 12 weight cotton from Wonderful, which is fantastic for your machine and also for hand work. We have a massive, great big classroom. At the moment we can fit 7 people, 7 to 9 people, practicing our 1.5 meters away from each other. And we also have a fully qualified technician available for the store as well. Big range of clover, big range of rulers. We're just going over the top 5 features of the Bernina 770. There's lots of things about the Bernina 770 that I love, so I had a hard time picking 5 out of it. So the 5th one is, number 5, is the knee lever. So the knee lever is a freehand system that goes into the machine like so, and that allows you to drop the presser foot down, and as you push across the knee lever, the feed dogs drop, the tension discs open, and the presser foot goes down and stays down. Great way of doing chain piecing. You can use it when you're quilting, and it's especially great to leave your hands free for your applique situations as well. So the freehand system, or the knee lever, is my number 5. Number 4 is the jumbo bobbin. The jumbo bobbin on the 7 series and available on the new 5 series and the 4 series of Berninas is a bobbin that is absolutely huge. It can take up to 70 to 80% more thread than any other regular bobbin in the domestic market. So the bobbin just goes on, can't go on the wrong way on this particular machine, can only go on one way, and it's just a flick of the switch for you to fill your bobbin. Really fantastic feature of this particular machine. Number 3, and this actually is on many of the Berninas, but I really like it, is the needle positioning. So it doesn't matter what stitch you pick, you have the choice of 11 needle positions with any of the stitches. I particularly love using one of their beautiful blanket stitches, and I can move it all the way across so that it lines up with the edge, the inside edge of my open toe embroidery foot. And I can do that on any single stitch within my Bernina. I've got lots of stitches, but I can do any needle position with my Bernina. 11 needle position. So that's number 3. Number 2 is the foot control. The foot control on a Bernina has a little spot on the foot control, and that does needle up and down, and goes down and the needle can go up. So that gives you, once again, your hands available and everything for, you don't have to go up to a needle up and down button. You can just use your foot control as well. Okay. You can also, on the 770, you can program the foot control to cut as well and to tie off too. So that's another option. But I love the option of your needle up, needle down, giving you the opportunity to have your hands on your project at all times and then taking your needle out of the project. And the best feature of any Bernina, and particularly the 770, is, apart from the space that we've got here, is the ease of a Bernina foot coming off and going back on. Okay, it takes a little bit of practice, but yeah, I can do it one-handed, and it doesn't matter what foot I'm putting on. I can do it just with the flick of a lever and pulling it off or putting it back on. Screws, nothing, I can just get it on. The walking foot takes a little bit more finessing, and I quite often need my extra little hand here, and that's the walking foot on and off. Once again, no screwdrivers, nothing. That is the best feature of any Bernina sewing machine. That's my personal opinion. Another lovely thing about the Bernina 770 is the dual feed system. So what is the difference between dual feed and a walking foot? Well, the dual feed is specifically designed for 2 layers of fabric. So your plaids, zigzags, stripes, whatever you might have on your fabric, with the dual feed system, it will line up. It'll evenly feed the top layer and the bottom layer. So, do you need a walking foot for your quilting? Yes, you do. Okay, I basically say to people that anything bigger than their table, or 2 or more layers, they need a walking foot. So if you don't know what your dual feed feet are and your walking foot, the big book of feet, the Bernina big book of feet, has in the front what all the letters are for on your particular feet, and the dual feeds are your D feet. So that means that they have a little gap at the back of the particular foot, just like that. And that means that the dual feed will actually come down and hook into the back of that foot. So the dual feed comes down, and that feeds that little, hooks onto that little feed dog at the back, and will move that top layer of fabric at the same rate as the bottom layer. Okay, with the walking foot, which comes in a large box, you also have this mechanism that goes over your needle bar, and the walking foot actually walks these 2 bars as well as the feed dog system. So that allows several layers of fabric, batting, whatever, to evenly feed across and not give you any wrinkles. The Bernina walking foot is a fantastic foot. It's easy to put on, like I showed you before. The open toe walking foot on here, and that's how easy it is. And I've also got the guide that you can put on, and you can put the guide on the left hand side and the right hand side. Now I'm just going to show you how to pop a handbag zipper on with the Bernina 770. First of all, we put our zipper foot on, Now the 770 comes with the 4D foot, so it is a dual feed foot, which is fantastic. And we pop it on just with one hand. We engage our dual feed system, and then of course we need to choose our straight stitch and move our needle across. So I just want to put this on with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now when you're putting a hand, especially Annie's zippers or any of the YKK handbag zippers on, you have it at least 2 inches bigger than what you actually need, so that you can put the zipper pull away or out of the road. And this is just a small zip, and I'm just going to actually use it without clipping it or anything, and I start before the actual handbag or project that I'm doing, and so then I can slide up onto it. Okay, I just have the zipper just about a 1/16 of an inch over the edge of my project, and then I can just start sewing. Now I always have my By Annie stiletto in my hand, ready to guide, and I'm just going to sew it on. And cut. And then to sew it down, I'm using a contrasting thread at the moment just so that you can see my stitching. And then to sew it down, I'm just going to use my stiletto to give it a bit of an iron. It's also a pressing tool. And then I'm going to do this right on the edge. So I'm not going to leave my needle there. I'm going to go right over to the edge with my zipper foot, and I'm going to sew right on the edge. And there you go. You've got a zipper in the top of a bag. Beautiful. Okay, so I've prepared my binding, and I'll do a video one day about how I do my binding, but it's the same way that Annie does hers. I actually fold it in half, and I pin it. I do not press it, okay? And now I'm just going to pop it on with my Bernina 770. Now I like using my 37D foot. Now that is the original 1/4 inch foot that came with the 750. The actual Bernina 770 comes with the 97D, and you can use that foot as well. But I really love my little 37D foot. So once again, I'm going to engage the dual feed, and that's going to help feed it all through. And I'm just going to start off the front of this particular bag, and I'm going to sew a scant 1/4 of an inch, which just means I'm just going to make sure that my 1/4 inch, that my actual binding is just in underneath the foot. Okay, and off I start, sewing away, taking my pins out as I go. When I come to a corner, I'm just going to move that binding around. And what you're going to be very careful, just that you don't actually stretch this binding at this stage. When you come around the corner, just a gentle corner, you sort of just place it on the edge. Use your knee lever. Another great feature of the Bernina 770 is the knee lever. And I'm just coming around, making sure I'm taking that 1/4 inch, laying it flat I'm going across the bottom of the bag now. These are just the quick and easy little bags I do with all my leftover bits and pieces that I've quilted and made my biony bags out of. They're great for storing your cutters in. They're great for storing just bits and pieces in. I just love them. And I'm coming up to the zipper and I'm making sure that my zipper pull's nowhere near where I'm going to go over. And the Bernina, any of the Berninas, especially the ones with the dual feed, just glide over these big nylon zippers. Just glide, doesn't even hesitate. And that's one side of the binding done. I'm just doing the top part of it, and I once again just use my 1/4 inch foot. I actually am lining up the edge of my binding with the very inside of that toe, the very inside, and it's a 1/16 of an inch away from the needle position, which is this part just here. And I just make sure that it's lined up with my previous stitching, and I use my stiletto. I cannot do this without my stiletto. The stiletto grips it and I can just easily do that. So thank you for joining us. That is just a few features of the 770 and why I love the 770 so much for making my biony patterns that I do, and for any of my piecing or my quilting. Thank you.